G'day everyone. I just wanted to talk to you about our pastures and how we manage things and how we do that in a way that's chemical free. So we haven't applied any fertiliser to any of our pastures for probably 10 or 12 years. It's been 12 years since anything was applied in this paddock, and even then it was a compost material. Yet we still are able to get this beautiful soft pasture, and yes, we've had a lot of rain this year, which is a blessing after the last couple of years. However, we had a massive amount of summer growth, and now we're getting as big a growth as we could see over winter. All of these legumes and annual grasses and things, and all without any fertiliser. And what we truly believe is that this just comes down to soil biology, and the way we get that pumping is by having things growing as often as we can. So active plant growth as often as we can through both summer and winter. And the more plants we can have and the more diversity of plants, the better. And in here at the moment, you can see there's a heap of clover covering the ground, so it doesn't actually look that diverse. And what's that doing? It's an annual plant, so it's really pumping those plant root exudates down into the soil, probably in large quantities. There's a nitrogen fixing bacteria that hangs around the root zone of these legumes, so that produces nitrogen for us out of the atmosphere via the plants, via the biology in the soil. And that then allows the grasses that are dormant now to really grow and thrive over summer when they need it. But it's just interesting for us to observe that the plants look after themselves as long as we look after the plants. And by doing that, we have to manage our animals, the cows in the paddock, and manage what they're eating and how often they're coming back and eating. And it's all pretty complex, and it's taken us years of learning and being mentored by people. But what is probably more importantly, it's taken years of observation, and it's been really important and critical to observe what comes after we've taken some sort of action. So when we put a mob of cows through the paddock, if we've left them too long, what's been the consequence the next year, 2 years later? If we've had them in really high density and knocked all the material down, what's the consequence of that? And by being able to piece those observations together over the years, it's allowed us to understand more deeply how we can improve our pastures and therefore improve the health of our animals, and ultimately the productivity or profitability for ourselves. But probably more importantly, be able to produce a better product for you, the consumer. So grass-fed beef doesn't just mean they've eaten grass and tick a box and there you go. For us, it means so much more than that. It's not just grass, it's all sorts of different plants, legumes, trees, bushes, whatever the animals can access. And those plants that they do eat, graze, browse, whatever it may be, have to be as nutrient dense as we can, as possible, as we can allow to happen. And the only way that we can truly get nutrient dense food is through biology and soil biology. It's not through unzipping a bag and spreading fertiliser over the paddocks, and that's what we found. And we're really happy when we drive around the farm. We're just seeing some beautiful pastures, possibly the best I've seen in my lifetime here, consistently over summer and through winter. And it's been no effort at all to get through winter this year with our animals, because we've had such abundance of beautiful soft pastures and just diversity across the whole farm, and a covered soil. There's effectively no bare ground, and it's really pleasing to see. So when the rain falls, We're not seeing runoff. Our dams still are nearly empty, even though we've had a huge amount of rain for this year. And when the wind blows, we're not seeing dust coming off our farm. And those are all little indicators. You know, those are our KPIs for what we're doing, whether we're on the right track. So I just thought you might like to see it. We don't often talk, and we more show you pictures and things, but it's just one of those things that people are often really pleased when they do come to the farm and they get to hear us speak about these things. And so it's just a little snippet of how things are going.